Okay, I do believe we are once again live. Welcome to Shootin' It with Yankee. I am Yankee. And this is my weekly question and answer podcast, I guess, even though I don't really know if it's a podcast or not technically, because I don't really technically know what a podcast actually is. It's just a word to use. This is where my viewers get to ask me pretty much anything they want to ask me, gun related, non-gun related, whatever. If you want to ask a question, send it over to shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com, shootingleftofcenter@gmail.com. I will answer as many of those as I can. Also, if you have a question you want definitely answered and you want to donate to the puppy fund, you can donate to the puppy fund by clicking the little dollar symbol down there by the emoticon symbol, donating to the puppy fund, and that pops your question up in a little colored bubble that I can see throughout the chat and answer it. So also puts you on a little list I can check under my super chats. So let's get started today. Let me go over and see if there's any questions that have come in already. And we will see. Okay, looks like there's a couple here. Al is asking, what is the difference between the red and black base plates on the mags? What's he talking about? Oh, Smith & Wesson 4006. Can only find used mags and black base when running around $10 to $15 higher. Just picked up the 4006 or 4006, I guess you'd call it, at the LGS Wednesday for $325. I didn't know that they had different made base plates. I didn't know there was a red base plate for that model Smith & Wesson. That's one of their semi-automatics. So I didn't know there was a red base plate for it, period. So I can't tell you what the difference is since I didn't even know it existed. Cowboy Swami is asking, is a 1911 more difficult to maintain if not gun savvy? I'm going to say yes and no. Just general basic everyday maintenance, cleaning. It's not hard. It's not a difficult gun to work with. It only gets to be a little harder than some other polymer guns and stuff if you're going to disassemble the frame. Which is very seldomly necessary. Seldomly, I used the word doesn't exist. Seldom is very seldom necessary. If you have to disassemble the frame, especially if it's a Series 80, it's a little more difficult than some polymer guns because there's two little pieces of the safety piece that the firing pin safety that have to kind of like line up in a certain way when you put the pin back through. And it's not by any means rocket science, but it is a little more than what some people might be comfortable doing. So as far as just general maintenance and cleaning, no, it's no more difficult to maintain than any other gun. And as far as like completely disassembling it down to the basic parts, yeah, if it's a Series 80 especially, it's a little more difficult than your basic polymer guns. But even, I don't really think it is more difficult than the polymer guns, because here's the thing. If you're taking apart a polymer gun and let's say it's got 30 parts and you're taking, and that's not the real number, but let's just say it's got 30 parts and you're taking apart an all metal gun that's got 40 parts. Well, does that mean the other gun is a higher difficulty level of reassembling or maintaining or taking apart, or does it just take a little longer? Because if all you're doing is pulling pins and things like that and making sure where springs go, it's not more difficult. It's just a little more time consuming. It's like saying, is putting 10 round pegs into round holes more difficult than putting 8 round pegs into round holes? Not any more difficult, just takes a little more time. So I'm going to actually change my answer to no on all counts. Now let me go back over here, make sure I didn't miss anything over here. I saw one thing come in from a Johannes Gluck, but he didn't ask a question. Let's see here. Netflutter is asking, do you keep buckshot in your gatekeeper? If not, what do you prefer for home defense shotgun ammo? What I've got in my gatekeeper right now is the mini shell buckshot. So that's what I do have in my gatekeeper right now. I actually don't prefer a shotgun for home defense unless, like I say, you live somewhere where you're as more likely to run into a bear in your front driveway than you are a person, because I think they're a little overkill other than that. But if you like live on a farm or you have property or you live in the woods or something like that, yeah, they're okay. But I'm not. And in that case, I'm worried more about bears. I want slugs in it. So if I was going to keep a shotgun for home defense and I thought I was going to need it against like a moose or a bear, I would want a slug. Let's see. Pinch Me Vampire is asking, will you do gunsmithing? Can you please stop editing out the parts? Oh, when you do, I think he means when you do gunsmithing, can you please stop editing out the parts where you bitch and did a lot? That shit is gold for me. Yeah, a lot of people like when I leave in they like to watch me struggle. Zachary W is asking, did your shotgun table make it to the new house? And he's donated the puppy fund. Yeah, it's actually upstairs in the apartment upstairs. That's where it's at right now. The shotgun is not in it right this moment. It's in my safe because I had 9 14-year-olds up there last night, 13 and 14-year-olds, because my son had a sleepover and he brought a bunch of ratty little kids into my house. So, and I just made them stay in the apartment. They had to run to the apartment for the night. So they thought it was awesome. They loved it, but I didn't want to leave the shotgun in that cabinet, even though they couldn't have gotten it open because they don't have the card, but I didn't want to take any chances. Let's see here. Vincenzo Lamberto says, set off a shotgun indoors. You'll be deaf, at least for a little while. Same thing with 357 Magnum, though, especially if you're like in a closed-in area. Like when I had my hang fire with that 357 Magnum, it was in a closet basically because I'm in between 2 bulletproof sheets of plastic or whatever that material is, polymer of some sort. It just basically echoed in that little and boy, that ear was fucked up for a while. So it still rings a bit. But I already had tinnitus a little bit anyway, so I can't really notice much difference. But for like weeks, it was just horrible. James Rennick picked up a CZ-P07 and was looking for holsters. I'll probably get an outside the waistband and an inside the waistband. With the inside the waistband, there are lots of single clips. Would a double clip be better for 27? I don't like single clip inside the waistband holsters, period. I find they shift around too much on me. Maybe if I was fatter and could have fat that swelled out around them enough to hold them in place, it'd be different. But just not a fan of single clip inside waistband holsters. But nice gun though. That's what I'm giving away this month. That's going to be the gun similar one. It's going to be the gray one with the suppressor ready sights and barrel. Johannes Guluk. Hey Yankee, greetings from Austria, Europe. Forgot to ask my question in the previous super chat. What do you think about Hickok 45 and his join the NRA propaganda? I think he'll do anything for money. I think that's what it is. I think he made a decision based on, but that's not really fair because I know a lot of old timers that totally 100% believe in the NRA. So he might be someone who totally believes in the NRA, but there's also that aspect that he's not doing it out of the kindness of his heart. He is on the payroll. So I don't know. I'm not a fan of the NRA, and I don't believe anyone who thinks clearly could be or actually looks into stuff could be. So I'd like to think Hickok's smart enough to look into things and know that he's promoting a bunch of assholes who are just there for profit. One of those, you either have to assume that he's stupid and innocent or smart and a scoundrel. Now I can hear people now running to tell Hickok that I said he was either an idiot and innocent, or people love to tell on you in the gun community for some reason. I don't know why. I wouldn't say anything. They act like if you say something on your live chat, you're saying it behind their back. It's a live video. They can see it anytime they want. Luke Gerard, glad to be here, Yank. I missed the last couple of weeks, unfortunately. Well, what the fuck were you doing? Oh, yeah, you get quite a bit of money when you promote the NRA because, for one, they actually pay you on the payroll. Some of the people like Hickok and Colin Noir, they have to have a job where they pay them, and then you get a percentage of new memberships. You get like money for every time you sign somebody up. They used to offer us those promotions all the time, like Military Arms Channel, my channel. You sign up new people and you get this code, and every time someone signs up through the link in your video, you get this much money. I'm like, not interested, thanks. Jonathan Johnson just donated to the puppy fund and says, thanks for the pups. You were on a Kydex kick for a while. Have you switched back to leather for holsters, or is it a seasonal thing? Well, I was wearing Kydex a lot when I was trying out a lot of semi-automatic pistols. I don't really prefer Kydex for my revolvers, although I do have a couple Kydex holsters. But usually with revolvers, I prefer leather. Jason W. donated to the puppy fund and says, my daughter wanted me to send you a housewarming present. I sent it to Sporting Systems for you. It should be there this week. They're going to start thinking things are up because stuff's been coming in for me there. They're going to think I'm like smuggling drugs through them or something. Someone should send them a baggie full of baby powder and just write 50 kilo, write 1 kilo or something on it. And see if they look in my packages. I got a package from them the other day, but I'm not going to say what it is yet because I haven't done a video on it yet. Someone in here knows what it is. Here's actually a pretty good question. The dude PDX is asking, and it's good because it's poignant. The dude PDX says, any parents not let their kids over due to guns? Well, there was one set of parents that came over, dropped off their child. We arranged, because I brought every kid in, took the parents up, showed them where they're going to be staying, let the kids get settled in. And then I took the parents to the house, got the kid's name, wrote down if there was any allergies, got the parents' phone numbers and their addresses, and then found out if they want me to bring them home or if they would want to pick them up, because we're way out. And a lot of people who got out here who said, well, we'll drop them off when they brought them. When I have to pick them up, got out here and they went, I had no idea you were this far out. I was like, I tried to warn you, I'm on the mountain. And one family came, and while she was here, the mother was wearing a miniskirt. Maybe a little old for a miniskirt, but she was wearing one. They were nice people. Not old that she was an old lady, but it's just that I don't think women over the age of 20 should wear miniskirts. That's just me. But I mean, she was in shape and everything, so she can get away with it, but just my own personal thing. They come in, and well, our dog jumped on her. Mavis is very affectionate. She wants petted and wants to jump on everybody. So she jumps up on her, scratches her leg. Well, so I'm like, oh, you need to get your leg wiped off. Let's go here. We went to the emergency kit in the bathroom, which is in the master bedroom, and gave her the stuff to clean her leg off. Well, in my closet, there is sitting a AR that's not functional. The only reason it's not in a safe is because it's completely non-functional. There's not even a firing pin or anything in it. It's not completely assembled yet. It's basically a shell. It's the one that I did the video on and I've never finished. And it's not put back together now because I disassembled it not too long ago. So there's nothing in it but just the pretty parts. But they didn't say anything when they saw it, but they called back later and said, listen, when we were there, we saw this and then we're concerned. And I'm like, your kid's not going to have any access to any firearms. And they're like, he's never been exposed to firearms. He doesn't know anything about firearms. He has no exposure. And I was thinking in my head, well, they're sitting over there right now playing Battlefield something and Watch Dogs, which I'm pretty sure have guns in them. So I'm sure he has some exposure to firearms, just probably hasn't been taught properly around firearms, which I would make sure to do if he has that kind of exposure to them. But I'm like, no, don't worry. That gun's non-functioning. Any gun that's functioning is locked in a safe inside of a room. Then no one knows the combination to the safes or the room but me. So, which means if I die, they're going to break in this bitch. But that happened. So they were concerned because they saw that AR in my closet. Never let strangers in your bedroom that you're not going to sleep with, I guess, because that's what happens. Calvin McDougal, old McDougal had a farm. Hey, Yankee, what do you think about the SIG P365? Well, I'll tell you what I think. I think it's a gun I'm not interested in. I'm not saying it's great. I'm not saying it's horrible. I'm just saying it's a gun I'm not interested in. And I haven't tried it out yet because I haven't had really an opportunity to try someone else's out yet because I'm not buying one because I don't carry small guns. So, and those guns, that gun looks like it might be a wet dream for somebody that carries a small gun, a little 9mm that holds that many. That's awesome. I mean, I might stick with a car still because I like the cars. But if you want something with a little more firepower, a little more capacity, it seems like it's a great gun, and it's made by SIG. And a lot of the stuff I've heard has been awesome about it. But I've heard a couple of negative things too. But the good I've heard far outweighs the bad. So I think it's probably a good gun. It's just nothing I'm interested in at all. For it's a small gun too, which I like small guns like for collecting like a small gun, but not for like a carry gun. And it's polymer. So it's two things I'm not really that interested in. Anthony Spinelli. Spinelli, am I saying that right? I thought it said Anthony Spaghetti for at first. That would be a better name, Anthony Spaghetti. Tony Spaghetti. It sounds like a gangster name, Tony Spaghetti. Hey, Yankee, just wanted to check in and see if you were all set on Slip 2000 product for the giveaways. Please let me know if you need anything. Oh, they might need more. I don't know how many you gave us originally, and we've given away quite a few guns, but I think they're okay for now, but they're probably going to need more soon, I would be willing to bet, because we're going through those pretty quick. Doing one a week. Wasn't planning on that at first. And I'll keep doing one a week as long as my Patreon supports it, which we should do a Patreon check. I'm going to go see. Because remember, I was down $1,000 as of $1,100 as of last week. Let's see how much I'm down now. It might take it a while to load because why is it not? Come on. You know how this works, right? Let's see, click that. Looks like I didn't move much. Let's see. Nope. It's down another $65. So it's 65 less than it was last time we checked. It's falling steadily. And I got all the lists done for the patches to be sent out. Not just December through January, but everybody that owed one up till now. So those should be going out as soon as Forge from Freedom gets back from vacation next week. I finally sat down, got all the lists made, got a deputy list made. I had to go through and just hand delete and select address because I couldn't figure out that program to save my life. But got it done, so those will be going out soon. Vincenzo Lamberto says 7.62x39 ARs. I got no use for that. I mean, it's okay, but I like 223 better for ARs. I don't even like 300 blackout or AR-10s. I just prefer 223. I mean, I'm a bit of a traditionalist in that aspect. 5x5, 5.6. Cowboy Swammy is saying Pig 320, 18 plus 1, 357 SIG, or 686 plus for bedside in Philly. Well, I don't think you can go wrong with either one, really. They're both great guns. And the 357 SIG is a very potent round. The only thing I would say is since it's a bedside gun, and I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes you wake up a little confused. I like a gun next to the bed that ain't that trigger happy. You know what I mean? So I like a revolver next to the bed. They're not very likely to accidentally hit the trigger on a revolver with something. What about the mom's leg? I don't know what Ricky Ramirez is talking about. Did he mean mare's leg? I can't read this name. Let's see. Misael Arredondo. We'll just call you Skippy. Did you see the video of the FBI agent negligent discharge? Yes, I actually got to go back and see a good copy of that, and it looked like it fired because I thought people were saying it fired when it dropped. No, it fired when he went to pick it up, I guess was what they were saying. And he just very casually just kind of walks off. I don't know what he was, like, oh, this is not a big deal. And then, what the fuck? And that goes to show you people not knowing how to grabbing your gun, putting it off like that. That's another good thing about a revolver. Very unlikely that would have happened. But of course, if he had a good proper holster, wouldn't have happened either. Give me a nice good, because give him a good retention holster, a good leather holster. Hell, I could do a backflip in this leather holster and it wouldn't come off. You got to pull very precisely. Not that I could do a backflip anymore. I used to be able to. Used to be able to do a standing backflip. Used to be able to stand and just flip and land on my feet. I also used to be able to do a kip up, like where you're on your back and you're up to your feet. My dad taught me that when I was a kid. I can't do either of those anymore. Actually, I can't say I can't do them. I'm just saying I don't have the guts to try them anymore. Now, my son did bet me the other day that I couldn't do one-handed push-ups anymore. We were moving stuff, and I said him and some of his friends were trying to do push-ups, and he said, "I bet you can't do." I said, "Someone do it one-handed." And he's like, "Yeah, you can't do them anymore." I said, "Yes, I can." No, he said, "You probably used to, but you can't now." And I proved him wrong. I can do one-handed push-ups still, so I know I can do that, but I ain't trying the backflip because I'm not going to break my hip doing a one-handed push-up. Oh, and then I arm wrestled like all 5 of them, and these kids are 18 to 20 in the prime of their life, and not one of them could budge me. I mean, I was doing the whole, tell me when you're starting. And they were like, and I'm like, sad. Kids these days. I guess they don't build up a lot of muscle tone working joysticks all day. I don't mean working their joystick. I mean, working like whatever those game controller things are. I got 4 arms like Popeye because of working the joystick, just not like them. Didn't look like he had a holster to me. If he just had it shoved in his pants, he's an idiot. All right, I'll make sure I got everything over here. Skippy's question was the last one, so let me go back over to emails, try to get some of those answered. Oh, there's the TYMP pistol project winner. I don't want to read that one yet. Your thoughts on the North Hollywood shootout? You mean like the long time ago Hollywood shootout where they had like automatic weapons and body armor and they were doped up like crazy? I don't really have a lot of thoughts about it. They all died, every one of them. So it's what SWAT teams are for. I hate that the military, the law enforcement tries to use that as an excuse that every single officer out there should be armed to the teeth. No, that's what SWAT teams are for. You don't need to be a paramilitary force to hand out parking tickets. Okay, let me go over here. FJ Amato. Dun, 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 dun. So all 6 of New Jersey gun control laws passed. AP ammo banned. That's armor piercing, I'm assuming means. Already is. Yeah, I know. CCW near impossible to get now. Kind of already was. 15 round limit dropped to 10. Probably not going to end up being constitutional, etc. Question: can I move in with you? No. P.S. don't mind the 3 kids and the wife. No. I had other people's kids in my house this week, and that made me know. There's a reason why I don't ever want to have roommates. Or I have got a rule in my life now that says if you are not my child or somebody that I am currently or used to be fucking, you are not living in my house anymore. Period. I've made mistakes of letting my sister live with us before. We made mistakes of letting a friend move in with us to get started. We let a friend move in with us to get back on his feet one time. Said, you can stay with us for like 6 months, save some money, get back on your feet. He had a job. About a year and a half into it, we're like, listen, dude, you've lived here free for a year and a half. How much have you saved? And he hadn't saved anything because he gambled all of his money away playing bingo. And I was like, what kind of motherfucker plays all their money away on bingo? If you had like a poker habit or were gambling at the track, like over here at the horse track or something, I'd have been like, oh, he's got a problem. But you did it on fucking bingo. Old woman's game. I'm like, fuck you. I prefer picnics with benefits. Picnic. Picnic is their name. I'm not sure what that is alluding to. I don't have that kind of a dirty mind. I'm just a poor, sweet Southern boy. Well, not even Southern. I'm from West Virginia, but I lived in Southern for quite a while. I got a call the other day, asked me what I thought was the largest threat to gun rights. She seemed taken aback when I said the NRA. Yeah, it's a good answer when the NRA calls you to ask you that. They don't call me anymore. I think I got taken off their lists. I'm still a member, still a life member. I guess I'm just off their lists. A Ruben Truglow or True Gigolo or something like that. I traded my M11A1 for a 327 PC and 850 rounds yesterday. Sounds like a good choice to me. He said he didn't need them anymore, and I asked if I could pay for the transfer fee for him. I think it was a good trade. Also, I got a 586 a couple weeks ago. You're becoming a bad influence. Love the channel. Thanks for everything. Yeah, I mean, I think that you did a good trade. I mean, M11A1 for a 327 PC. Yeah, that's a good trade. Plus 850 rounds of picnic. Coffee just shot out of my nose. What was said that made coffee shoot out of his nose? I missed something. I missed something funny, obviously. Let's see here. Let me get back over to my emails. Emails. There we go. Here's what came with, and he's got a one there in the picture that looks like it's a. Let me see if I can open this attachment. We'll come back. Oh no, it opened because it must be a small attachment. Let me see if I can share it here. It looks to me like someone just painted a mag plate red. I don't know if that's a specialized. See if anybody agrees with me. I just look like somebody just painted the mag plate red. I don't think there's any difference between those and the other mags. I just think someone painted one of them for some reason. Maybe they painted them because they keep one kind of ammo in another and another kind of ammo in the other. I don't know. Makes sense to me. Yeah, I'm looking through the chats over here, trying to see what's going on over here. Bingo. Yeah, bingo. I mean, like, dude, why waste your money on bingo? I mean, what's even the satisfaction there? And what can you actually win? What can you win? I don't know. I guess you win money, but I think bingo is one of those games where you play for fun, right? I don't see playing for money. Pinch Me Vampire says, Yankee, you actually read our comments. Those other guys don't. Yeah, a lot of times they're not even there to read the comments. They're just doing a presentation. A lot of times I'll have someone off camera reading comments. So I don't have that. I'm a one person operation here. I don't have help. So I can't do that. We know how you feel about the gauntlet testing that Mag does, but you should be his guest one day for a gauntlet test. He lives too fucking far away. He lives in like Indiana. He's way too fucking far away. And plus, I don't like Indiana. My dad used to live in Indianapolis, and I used to have to go up there in the summertime, and I fucking hated Indiana. I have to go from beautiful West Virginia up to Indiana in the middle of summer was just horrible. I could have been out on the mountains running around in the woods, and I was ended up in the fucking Indianapolis, Indiana. Charles White. With SIG having issues with both the P320 and the P365, do you think maybe their quality control and research or development is having issues? No, I haven't seen any widespread issues. That whole fire when dropping thing, I never saw. It was just more hype than anything else. What up, Yankee? You made a decision on whether or not you're doing TriggerCon this year. Marco and I will be there. I don't know. As well as Haas. I don't know. When is TriggerCon this year? I don't even know when it is. I haven't been invited this year. I know that. So I don't know. Don't know. Net Flutter. I know you don't do inside waistband, but in your experience, what holster would you recommend for an inside waistband for semi-auto? I'll tell you what I carried, and this is a single clip system, so it's not like I'm kind of contradicting myself, but those Nate Squared tactical holsters were very comfortable, and they tended to stay where they were because they were so wide on the back. But I just never had a lot of luck with inside waistband. Never really cared for them. The wider, the better, in my opinion. I don't like the leather against me either, so. Have Tim come to you. Yeah, like he's going to do that. Big channel like his, he's not going to come down here or up here. I'm way up here from him. Or over. We're both pretty high. I think I'm higher than him, but I'm over. Coda Boy 32 and Brown L's have had their YouTube channel suspended this week. How long do you think it will be before they hammer yours? Probably not long. We'll see. We don't know. They're definitely anti-gun. And it's got nothing to do with violating rules of public behavior. It's just anti-gun. If you say anything about a gun, that's basically violating their rules nowadays. Which party will win the 2008 midterm elections? Well, I bet I'm going to go on record right now and take the very specific stance and say that in some elections, Democrats will win, and in some elections, Republicans will win, and there might even be some where neither wins. And that was from A. Raja. I'm never going to say his first name because I always want to say like ass hat, but it's Arzalin. Your thoughts on Bees speed loaders? They're very fucking tall. That's my biggest issue with them is that they're very fucking tall. I wish they were smaller because they're very fucking tall. Instagram is going to allow 1 hour videos soon. Ugh. Who wants to watch a 1 hour video on Instagram? I don't even like watching a 2-minute video on Instagram. Or can they be 2 minutes? Is it 1 minute? It's 1 minute, maybe. I don't even like watching that. I guess we could start putting our YouTube videos on Instagram if we wanted to, but they'll probably start banning that too. But if they didn't, if Instagram did do that, at least we'd have a place where we could put our videos because everybody can just go follow us on Instagram. New addition to my stable, Harry Huckins. Hey, Yankee, what do you think? Well, there's no picture attached. Well, he picked attacked up. And then the next one says, damn it. And it's got the picture attached. So I'll wait till those load and then I'll ask him his question. Yankee, did you have a chance to dig deeper into the California tater farmer that registered his AR and got charged for something? I haven't heard more details of what was his illegal modification was. No, I haven't heard more about, I haven't got a chance to look into it. It's on my list of videos to look into, but I never did get around to it. Who will keep majority in Congress? I think Republicans are still going to hold the majority, at least in the House, I think. Maybe. And they're probably going to hold the Senate, but maybe lose the House. But we'll see. I don't think it's going to be as big a wave as people think it's going to be, but I think they're going to gain seats. And when you look at some of the Republicans they're running now, it's like, no wonder they're going to gain seats. It's kind of like the Hillary thing. Like Trump, anything was better than Hillary, and now some of these Republicans are running like anything is better than them. Disregard wrong email address. Okay, well, I was wondering why you were sending that to me. Harry Huckins, have you ever seen this gun? Crap, now you gave me another one I got to open up and wait for it to load. Your first one ain't even loaded yet. It says downloading still. We'll see. We'll see if they come through. Best outside waistband holster for 586 L comp. If you want leather, I like the Lobo gun holsters, like those a lot. If you want, or if you want something quick and easy to get, I'm wearing a Galco right now because I don't think I have a Lobo for this one. I got Lobos for all my other ones, but not for this one. At least I thought I'd ordered one for this gun, and I can't find it. Don't you hate that when you think, like, I know I had another holster for that gun, and I can't find it? Pissing me off. But I like the Lobo holster. The Smith, the leather holsters from Galco work really well. I like my Galco holster. And you can get those usually like immediately off eBay or Amazon. And if you want a polymer one for it, I would say contact Renaissance Firearms, because Renaissance Firearms holsters made me some good polymer holsters if you like a polymer holster for your gun. Oh, I wonder what I'm hearing. My kid's upstairs cleaning up his mess from the party, and he's flushing stuff down the toilet. He's flushing the toilet, not flushing stuff down the toilet. Probably poured a bunch of soda bottles into it. Let me go on here. Stephen Carroll donated the Puppy Fund and says, wait, did I say that was Jonathan Nassman that asked me the question about the best outside waistband for the 586L comp? Because I don't know if I did or not. He's the same person asked about Speed Bees holsters. Don't you think they're really tall? I think they're really tall. Those things finally loaded, so I'll check those out in a minute. Stephen Carroll, Yankee. I keep seeing anti-gunners saying that the CDC is unable to study gun violence. I know that there is a rule with them and guns, but I was wondering if you knew what the actual rule is. Yeah. I forget what it's called, like the Stinky Amendment, but it's not his real name. That's not the real name of it. But there's a rule that says the CDC can't be used to produce studies to promote gun bans or restrictions or anti-gun legislation for political reasons. There's no rule that says they can't study gun violence. In fact, if everybody remembers, Obama spent millions doing a gun violence study, and then they didn't like the answers they got. If you can actually find it on the internet, it didn't fit their propaganda because the CDC came to the conclusion that gun laws really don't do anything to stop gun violence. So they were flabbergasted that it didn't match what they wanted, so they didn't promote it. But they just did one. So that whole lie that I know it's crazy that politicians are lying, that they can't do any gun studies, not true. They just can't, for political reasons, produce studies to promote anti-gun agendas. And that is not the same as not being able to do any studies. They can't go in there and just have some guy from the CDC says, let's produce a lopsided study to show that we need to ban automatic weapons. And some politicians getting with them and funding that to do that. Or people be using the CDC as a political tool all the time. Okay. Have you ever seen this gun? Oh, yeah, I've seen those. Wait, that's it. Wait a second. Is that a Mateba? It's a small picture, and I can't get it to come bigger for some reason. Yeah, it's Mateba. Those are very, very, very cool. Those are what the rhinos are based on. It's the same guy designed both of them, I do believe. But very, very cool guns. Oh, and here's just pictures of his revolvers. Yes, I do like those. I like the jeweled hammers too. Are those EMFs? What are those? Where's the email? Oops. Yeah, EMF Great Westerns. I have a trigger and hammer updated. Yeah, I see the jeweled hammer on them. Yeah, they're nice. I like cowboy guns. I just love single action cowboy guns. I think I'm one of the 6 YouTubers that do. And I don't mean YouTube gun channel. I mean people on YouTube, period. Vincenzo Lombardo, dated the Puppy Fund, says desert gun leather here in Arizona makes great holsters. Yeah, there's lots of independent people who make great holsters. Dicknick is picnic, except with the P standing up. Pricknick, yeah, I guess so. But no, but then there's an R in it. Oh no, that's not his name. His name is Pricknick. But then Dicknick is a picnic with the D standing up, I guess. I don't know what that was supposed to be about. Don't even want to think about it. What do you think about the 300 Blackout? Just bought a Rattler. I looked at the Rattler at my gun shop the other day, and it's very cool. I wouldn't want the arm brace on it. The one that my dealer had the arm brace on, I just want a regular shoulder stock and make it a SBR. But my kid's out there roaming around outside my door for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what I think about the 3. I'm not a big fan of the 300 Blackout. Let's just say that. I just don't think there was a need for it. But I think it's an awesome little gun. I'd like to have one, but I've already got the MCX in an SBR, so I don't think I'll buy the Rattler, but you never see. Stephen Carroll, thanks for the answer. Too lazy to find it myself. You spell your last name just like my sister spells her first name, with 2 R's and 2 L's. Let's go over here to the questions again. Sky Too Hottie, or Too Hottie, not Scotty Too Hottie. Too Hottie says TriggerCon is July 26th through 29th. I might be able to go to that if they invite me. Pricknick donated $49.99 to the puppy fund and says, "We love you, Yankee." Well, obviously not enough to be 50, but I got to get up to it. I got to figure out a specific charity to do one of these two, of course, because me just writing checks to local stuff with nobody knowing about it isn't as effective as like doing one and then doing a donation that week. Although I like being able to go to the ones locally and just write checks or take them dog food, or like I took some dog food to the shelter the other day. That's why I take the truck down off the hill. Now that I got the truck, I'll just take the truck down and buy like $200 worth of dog food and drop it off. They appreciate that. Trust me. Dun, 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 dun. Did I get some stuff over here? Yes, I got to answer these over here. Colin Sully. In relation to that Sully guy that landed that plane in the river? Or was that his first name? I don't know. Hey, Yankee, I finally bought a Smith & Wesson Model 19-5. Good. I got a good deal because the rear sight is broken. Is IA broken? It is IA broke. Any recommendations for a new one? Are you going to carry it? If not, just buy a new blade. What part's broken? Just the blade snapped off? Usually when I see a broken rear sight, it's just the blade snapped off. Just get on eBay and order a new blade, or Amazon order a new blade if that's what you want it for. It's just going to be a range gun. If you're going to carry it, I would say look into, and if it's just the blade that's broken, look into I think they're Trigicon. I don't want to say that out loud. I don't know. Let me look. I can't get to my revolver safe from here. It's too far away. Hold on. I'll be right back. I'm going to go over to my revolver safe. That's why I wanted wireless headphones, but I can't get them to work. Nobody memorized those beeps. Well, you can memorize those ones because I did it wrong anyway. There. Let me see. Let me find it. Hold on. Yeah, here we are. Ow! It's heavy. My back. The door. Not the gun. Okay, I'm back. Trying to see if I can see who makes these. See if there's a... See, the bad thing is, I always rub off the little white letters that are on the side. I rub them off to think they look stupid. No, I don't know who made them. But if you see these, it replaces the front. It replaces the sight blade. And it's actually Trigicon dots. And it doesn't look bad once you get used to it. I like those. If you don't want those, or you don't want to just do a regular blade, then you can get, like this one from D&L Sports. I really like this one. I use this one on my carry gun with a XS big dot front sight. And I know the video's fuzzy, but you can still see enough to tell what I'm talking about. Okay, let's see. Get back over here to the chats. The 99-cent super chats mean iPhone. Yeah, I think that's what mobiles. I don't know why do the mobiles not let them do whole dollars? I don't understand. Cowboy Swami. My sight picture gets blurry using 2 eyes. Any suggestions? Yeah, close one eye. My sight picture is blurry, period. Anything gets too close to me is blurry. So I don't wear my glasses. And I always have to make a choice. If I wear my glasses, see, because right here, if I keep it at good arm's length, I can see my sights. I don't see my target also all that well. If I bring it in, if I put on my glasses, I can see my target, but I can't see my sights anymore. I need bifocals. And I ain't going to get bifocals. I'll drop dead before I get both bifocals for shooting. So I just shoot at fuzzy things. Jim Polson just donated $10 to the Puppy Fund. That was Cowboy Swami that asked about the blurry a minute ago, just so everybody knows. Let me see where to go. Just got a SIG P229 ASE. SIG says to use solvent only to clean the barrel. Any suggestions for what to use to clean the PVD coated frame? I just use oil when I clean. Usually I just put a little, I just spray it with a little oil. Like, you know, I don't have any in here right now, but like little aerosol lubricants, I just spray those on there and wipe them down. I haven't had any problem yet. So I don't get into anything. I don't use solvents or any type of things like that for my guns for cleaning them. If there's like lead built up on something or like an end of a barrel or something, I'll use a Scotch-Brite pad or a lead away pad. But as far as cleaning like frames and stuff, I've never had one get dirty enough I can't clean it with just a little bit of oil. And I don't worry about like the inside of the frame. I don't worry about that being perfect as long as there's no, I don't mind if it's stained as long as there's no buildup on it. So yeah, I don't really need much for cleaning inside. Mike L. What is the best 38 plus P defense round? Underwood Extreme Penetrator makes a good one. The Extreme Defense one I think is actually better in that case. Vincenzo Lamberto, I do whole dollar super chats from mobile, but are you on an iPhone? Are you on an iPhone? Wayne 63, how does 357 Magnum compare to 10 millimeter? It's a little more powerful. Now you can find 10 millimeters that are more powerful than some 357s. But you can find any 10 millimeter you can find a 357 that's more powerful than it, if you know what I mean. You can always cross compare to something weaker in that in one group or the other. You can compare like grade A 10 millimeter to low grade 357 and the 10 millimeter would be better. But if you compare it to the same level 10 millimeter or 357 is going to be better. A little more power, a little more speed. But 10 millimeter to me is, I'm not sure if I like 357 SIG better or 10 millimeter better, but 10 millimeter is like an optimal, like 357 SIG and 10 millimeter right there are the optimal semi-auto cartridge for me, in my opinions. Pliable Moose. Do you think red dots will revolutionize handgun sights? I think they already are. I don't think it's a matter of will. I mean, look at how many guns now you see with the red dot sights coming out on them. SIGs, 1911s from Kimber, other gun manufacturers, Walther. Everybody's trying to jump onto the Beretta. Everyone's jumping on the making a red dot sight version available because they're fucking awesome. I mean, I can hit up close. If I was spending a lot of time thinking that I was going to have to shoot multiple targets quickly at medium range, I would not carry anything but a red sight. I really don't think that I'm going to face that. So it's not one of my main concerns. I'm not going to say I don't think I'm going to face it. It's not one of my concerns that I take into strict consideration when I do something. So I can live without them on my gun, but if they're available in the gun I wanted, they definitely, let's just say if I chose a gun I wanted and it had a red dot available, I would definitely want the red dot for carry because it's just so much easier. Like I said, I've got those videos of me hitting swinging bottles at the range, you know, with it. My eyesight's so bad I can't usually do that, but with the red dots, I can pick the barrel, the bottle off mid swing. You don't have to wait for it to slow down. And that is not, my eyesight didn't get a ton better. It's just those sights are so much better. Josh Benware was having problems with light primer strike. 686. Thanks for your vid. I realized the strain screw was really loose. Thank you. I'm sure that was the problem. A lot of people, the strain screws are loose, especially if they buy a gun used. People will loosen the strain screw to make the trigger really light. But then it won't fire the rounds. So you got to be careful on those. A lot of people don't even know strain screw exists. So I've had people who've owned revolvers for years. They didn't even know what a strain screw is. Because like if you've got a full grip like this, you don't ever see your strain screw. And when you're taking part clean, don't pay attention to it. So I know people, like I said, that have had a revolver for years and didn't even know a strain screw existed. John Manrick. What do you think are the most important characteristics faux defensive ammo? To me, the most important characteristics for defensive ammo are accuracy, of course. It's got to be an accurate round. I mean, if you get a bullet that's wobbly and don't work, it's not going to work. Penetration would be my next important thing. A lot of people say expansion. No, in penetration. I got it. It don't do any good if your bullet expands to twice its width if it hits a rib and stops. You're not going to stop someone who's coked up if you just break a rib. You want to be able to puncture a vital organ. So to me, it's accuracy and penetration are the two biggest things. And I don't worry about over penetration. The odds of something like that working against you compared to just missing is not even worth considering as far as I'm concerned. You go with accuracy and penetration. I think that was the last one over there. Yep, I got all those answered. So I can go back over here to emails. Oddball 67 says Meprolite makes tritium combat sights for Smith & Wesson revolvers. Is that what I have? Is that the ones you're talking about? The ones I got on here? It might be. I buy a lot of Mepros. Mepros and Trigicon are like the two biggest brands that I buy. So. Jay Saggy Chode says, I can't believe that that's his name, but that's his name. I'm not even making fun of his name. His name is Saggy Chode. Went to my local FFL, bought 2 handguns. Was informed since I bought 2 handguns today, the FFL licensee has to notify local law enforcement. What the fuck? Heard of this before? I have heard of that before. It's just another form they send in, I guess. I don't know. But especially I've heard of it mostly in Texas, but I guess it's a law. I've never really worried about it too much because if they know I got 1, they know I got 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever. Well, I got delayed Friday, by the way. People who want to know if I picked up my Chiappa. Got delayed. I went to pick it up. Got delayed. Because they never know when I'm going to snap. And the gun that I buy that day is the one I'm going to go on a spree with. I'm not going to go home and get one of the other 100 I have or use the one I got with me. It'd be that one I just bought today. So they're saving the world by keeping me from taking it home that day. It just illustrates the idiocy of background checks. Something else demonstrates the idiocy of background checks, and I'm going to do a video on it tomorrow. So stay tuned. Pliable Moose. What MOA size do you like on handgun red dots? 3 inch. In fact, it's anything smaller than that I have trouble noticing as well. Anything bigger, of course, you're shooting like with a pie plate over them. So 3 is my favorite. And I think most come in a 3. If you don't really pay attention to what you're getting, you're usually going to get a 3 because I think that's the most common one. Alex Nicholas, GP100 is my first revolver. What should be my next? What do you want it for? If you bought a GP100 and you got that, unless you want to go, if you want a gun for carry, maybe if you like it a lot, go to an SP101. Go to its little brother. If you want it just for the range or something, go up to a 45 long Colt Vaquero or Blackhawk. That would be my choice. Go to a nice single action, nice beastly single action. Where's the Paul Harrell video? Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. I haven't had a chance to film it. I've had construction going on out here, which it's almost done now. It's still got to be painted, which like an idiot. I went ahead and put some shelving together and stuck some boxes out there. Now I might have to move to paint, but it needs to be painted out there. Then I got to do the flooring. But the part out there that's heavy construction stuff that's not just do it in your spare time is done. So I've got it out there ready to be turned into a gym area. It'll just be a little while. But it's coming. It's coming. You too hot. Here's a, you may get invited, but here's a link to put in for your press credentials. Okay. Neil Atkinson came across a that's the last name I know how to say. Came across a 10 millimeter Smith & Wesson 1026 for 1K. Owner says one of about 3,800 ever made for law enforcement when the feds initially went to 10 millimeter. Duchess online for similar guns are asking $2,000. Oops, hold on. I got to click something out of the way here. It just popped up. I don't need to know. My mom is trying to contact me on Messenger. Don't need to know that. Mom is sending me pictures of my niece and nephew. A great niece and great nephew, I guess, actually. Okay. Looks like it is a police trade-in with holster wear, but otherwise I don't see any issues. Buy or pass? Well, I mean, I'll be serious with you. I'd pass. Not because I'm saying the gun's not worth it. It's just not the 10 millimeter I would want. I think those guns were a little ahead of their time. I think they're good guns, but I don't know if crude would be the word. I just don't like some of the design features of those guns. I don't really like when visible rail tooling is visible outside the barrel. You know what I mean? On the slide. I'm not a big fan of that when it's like a big slot in the rest of the slide where the slide extends so far beyond the rail. I also don't like the way that they do that little piece of bent tin as part of their safety mechanism there. Not safety, but takedown lever. Just not crazy about how the way they built some of the stuff on there. So it's just not my favorite gun. I would pass on it. Like I had a 645 and those other guns. I just after a while I just like they're just a little crude. They're great guns as far as reliability and quality, just not crazy. Not crazy about them. Cowboy Swammy, what's the equalizer revolver you talk about? Equalizer revolver. I don't know what you're talking about. Equalizer was a TV show I used to like. But I don't know what an equalizer revolver is. I'm not understanding what Cowboy Swami is trying to say. There's a first. Does Trump win in 2020? Would you vote for him? Well, it depends on what he's running against. If he's running against someone like Hillary Clinton, maybe. But probably vote independent again, knowing me. But does Trump win in 2020? I'm going to go on a limb and say no. I just agree with Mitt Romney. I'm going to say that there's probably a 51% chance he won't run in 2020 for one reason or another. I'm not saying he's going to get indicted or anything, but I'm going to say he's going to do something stupid and he's not going to want to run again. Or he's just going to say, I did what I wanted to do. I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish and move on. I guess my son said, go away. You're ugly. Go away, Fugly. Fugly Magoo is pushing his face up against my window here. That's my son. My youngest son's nickname's Fugly. Call him Fugly Magoo. David Burkhalter. Have you shot the Makarov 9x18? If so, how would you rank it as a CCW? I have. I would rank it as CCW as odd cartridge and a slightly heavy gun. So, but if people like something different or they like that cartridge, go for it. But there's nothing about it to me that like makes me leap towards it as a carry gun. Child abuse. He knows he's fugly. Actually, I got to be careful because all the girls think he's very good looking and it's dangerous. You got to keep their self-esteem down a little. Plus his grandmother and everyone else is always telling him how, oh, he's so handsome and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, It's like we were sitting with a friend of ours at the ski slope the other day. I don't ski, but we were there. I'm not white privileged enough to actually be much of a skier. We were sitting there and she was telling her son how handsome he was. And she's like, I tell him how handsome he is and he doesn't believe me. And I was like, so there's a difference between moms and dads. I was like, it's a mom's job to tell you how handsome you are. It's dad's job to tell your son that you're fugly as hell and no woman would ever want to see you naked. You know, you got to keep it in their pants till they're at least 20. I've missed a bunch of questions over here. Not over here, over here. My emails. I still don't know what Cowboy Swammy was saying about an equalizer revolver. I'm looking over here to see if he just in regular chat said what he meant, but I'm not seeing it. Hmm. 454 Casull, awesome grizzly bear gun. You know, I don't think I own a 454 Casull. I've got 500 Magnums, and I've got guns that can shoot a 454 Casull, like my Ruger, but I don't have any gun that's like exclusively a 454 Casull. Samantha Bee's not fat. I wouldn't call her fat. She's like normal size for a woman. And I think she's funny. I think Samantha Bee's pretty funny, except for when she gets on fucking gun control stuff and all that garbage, because she's one of these people that believes every fucking fake statistic that the left has ever shoved down her throat, and she thinks that she's smarter than everybody else because they figured it out. And so I guess maybe I don't like her, actually. That doesn't sound like what you would talk, how you would talk about someone you like. Does he mean the Expendables revolver? I think that's what he means. This is the Expendables revolver. Yeah, I think that's what he meant. The Expendables revolver is in this safe. Let's see if my headphones will reach far enough for me to. That's why I want wireless headphones. But I can't figure out how to make them work with the thing. You know, the magic talkie box. This is the Expendables revolver. At FJ Amato, yours left the store, I think, Thursday, so it should be coming soon. By end of next week. Takes a while for you. This is the Expendables revolver right here. It's a single action army replica. Shortened barrel, no front sight, ported, gutter sight on top, and a fanning hammer. And for those of you that are wondering what a fanning hammer is, fanning hammer actually has this that rolls instead of a spur. So that way when you're fanning the hammer, you don't tear your hands to pieces. It just rolls right across. So fanning a spurred hammer, it's not a lot of fun sometimes. I've bloodied myself more than once doing that. As a kid, especially. Not so much as an adult. I don't do stupid shit as much as an adult. No. I do different kinds of stupid shit as an adult that I did as a kid. As a kid, you do something stupid like, I'm going to jump that ravine with my bike, even though it's 20 feet across, and I've never gone anywhere near that far with my bike before. As an adult, you do stupid shit like, I'm going to invest my money in guns instead of putting it in my 401k. Hey, Yankee, check them out. Dogs to dog tags. I will check them out. Felipe. I got my first gun for home defense is from Felipe Hookaka. Desk pop. No desk pops. People are going to get upset because I found that hammer, I bet. Not anybody in here. Most of the people in here won't get upset, but some people will probably will. Okay, back to Felipe Hookikoka. Got my first gun for home defense, 6-hour P320 compact, like new with 2 mags and 50 round box federal ammo for $400. Gotta love Texas gun shows. Next training with Dallas PD friend. Yay. I don't have any of my 320s now. I kind of wish I'd kept one. I know I'm not saying anything. How much dry fire practice should a person do? This is from Adam Jimmy Knees. I didn't know Jimmy Knees was here. I didn't see him today. Well, I guess that really depends. I think it's one of the, I have one of those go-karts if you want free red. I don't know what that means. I don't know what free red means. That was from Pricknick. I personally, no, this gun's unloaded, so don't let anyone freak out. It's real easy to tell a revolver's unloaded. I think dry firing is one of the most important parts of training. I mean, of course, going to the range and shooting, of course, is very important, but just proper trigger control, getting used to pulling your trigger without expecting, a bang. Because if you expect that bang and recoil, that's when you get in trouble. I dry fire a lot. It helps you practice your grip, get that good. I use like a tucked thumb grip when I shoot these type of revolvers. I get my hand good and high, get the hand good and high here, get your hand good and high here, tuck your thumbs down and shoot. Because most of the meat of my hand is right behind here. Now, if I can't go any higher on these because a lot of people will try to get higher. They'll get to where the flap of their head is up on the top. And then you're going to chunk the shit out of yourself because it's got a hammer. Remember that. So he goes, watch where this hammer comes to. It comes right to where it touches my hand before it goes back up. And that's where you want your hand to be, right where your hammer just barely taps it. Because if you get any closer, you can actually impede the proper function of your hammer. But sitting at home and just dry firing, paying attention to where does my finger feel better on the trigger and getting to where you can shoot it steady, put a penny on the front, just shoot. But the only problem with the penny on the front, though, is a lot of times on the revolvers, the actual hammer falling makes enough vibration to knock the penny off. So you might want to find something rubber or heavier to sit on there because the penny will just go shooting. Even if you don't move the gun at all, the penny will shoot up because the actual hammer falling. What's going on over here in the chat? No sound. Well, should I be sound? I mean, everybody else, I think people would have complained by now if there was no sound. I would like to think. Pricknick says, hi, steadily. Steadily. What are they talking about? I'm just reading here. How far are we? For 5:08, we're only an hour and 8 minutes into the chat. We still got some time here unless we run out of questions. But to answer the question, how much dry fire should a person do? As much as possible. Always be careful, though. Don't shoot your TV because I like to shoot things on TV. Rachel Maddow makes an amazing target. It's hard to miss her. Not fast. She's got a big head. Brandon Park 3692. I was never sure how to say the numbers in people's names. It's a HOA 308 with 26-inch barrel. Can you show it to everyone? I would love to get some feedback. Sure. I think it's pretty cool. Let's see if I can get the attachment to open. Hey, it opened pretty quickly. What do you know? Let's see if I can share it. Everyone let Brandon know what you think of this gun. Where's my little screen share button? Where is it? There it comes. There we go. What's everybody think of that? I think it's cool. I'm gonna go on record saying I think that's pretty cool. I don't know what everyone else is gonna say, but I think it's pretty cool. That site looks a little far back for me, but maybe it's not. It just looks a little far back for me. But not everyone is the same as me. I got a big head. And I don't have short arms either. So it works out. I got long arms and a big head. Everybody see it? Everybody see it? Let me know what they think about it. Oops, did I not stop? There we go. I should just start doing pictures throughout the chat because they show up better than the video. Badass, nice. That looks nice. I want to salute it. Nice. That is cool. I like the colors and the break. Yeah, I do too. I mean, I like it. Now, a lot of people get offended when people put flags on things. I'm just going to bring that topic up since it's right here in front of us, or it's in front of me still. He said it was 308, I do believe. But I don't get that touchy about that. I mean, I know some people do, and I understand why they do. They have a lot of reverence for the flag, and they don't think it should be plastered on stuff. I actually kind of like it on stuff. I mean, I kind of like some of the 1911s that use the flag patterns and stuff, but then there's people that think that that's just as disrespectful. And I understand their opinion and I respect their opinion. I just don't happen to share it. I think it's mainly because I'm not someone that puts that much emphasis on a flag. I mean, I like what the flag represents, but the flag itself doesn't mean that much to me. I mean, I've been in the military and I've been in combat zones, and I have never yet met a person that actually fought for a flag, period. They fight for their fellow countrymen. They fight for their family. They fight for their way of life. They fight for their country, but they don't fight for a flag. I mean, I don't think most people really give that much of a shit about their flag. They just like what it represents. And as long as a flag is used in a way that I don't think is like blatantly disrespectful, like I think someone saying, I want a flag on my belt buckle, that's not disrespectful. Or someone saying, I want my gun to have the colors of the flag on it, I don't think that's disrespectful. If someone does something disrespectful with the flag, if they make like flag toilet paper, that would bother me. Wipe your ass with the flag. Yeah, that would be offensive, I think. But like on a gun like this, I don't think it's blasphemy. I think it's patriotism. I think people are very patriotic when they want to do stuff like this. So I mean, and whether it's patriotism is a different thing, because I think patriotism actually requires some sacrifice. This doesn't really require any sacrifice. But I think it's patriotic in a way to want to have the colors of your flag on your firearm. So I'm fine with it. What if I should probably put that in video form sometime. I don't have my phone. Where's my phone? I'm going to write this down by hand, which means I'm never going to remember it. I don't want to write it on that. I don't really want to write it on this either. Flags on guns. Now, it's almost guaranteed that when it comes time to do a video, I will not remember what I meant by that. I go through my list of potential video topics, and I'm like, ham steaks and pork chop. What the fuck did I mean by that? Or 22s and mini skirts. I'm like, well, what the fuck did I mean by that? What was my connection there that I no longer remember? Unknown user said it's only disrespectful if you use an actual flag in an unfitting way. It's not disrespectful to have a flag motif. Well, I think it can go further. I think even if it's just a flag motif used in a disrespectful way, like I said, like toilet paper, I think that could be considered offensive. Now, doing something to a regular flag, a real flag, like an actual flag, that does bother me. Like if I see a flag out in the rain, I'm like, take your fucking flag in. If I see a flag out at night that's not lit, I'm like, well, if you're going to care enough about to put it up, take care of it. Although I don't go to the point of like being mad at them, because I'm like, hey, they put a flag out. They're trying to be patriotic. They may not know all the rules. So I don't get too hyped up about it. But I do believe that you should take care of an actual flag. Don't let it get bratty and nasty. And if it does, dispose of it properly and get another one. It's me, fourth yard. I already figured that out a long time ago. I think everybody did. You should buy a 41 mag Smith & Wesson night guard and proceed to break the internet. It goes right through the body armor that stops 44 mag. Well, I can't find a 41 mag Smith & Wesson night guard. Where am I going to find that at? It's not like I bet I can't even find any. Oops, hold on. My mom needs to leave me the fuck alone. There. I mean, where am I going to find one of those? Okay, here. Let's see. It looks well. Up more emails are here. Hold on. Picnic, I'll find you one. You find me one, let me know. You find me one and let me know. Net Flutter is asking, indulge us with an answer. Oh, that's going to be good, probably. What team do you think LeBron James will go to if he leaves the Cavaliers? LeBron James can fall in a fucking hole for all I care after he leaves the Cavaliers. I don't give a fuck about basketball or football. I just don't. I no longer give two fucks about a bunch of spoiled ass millionaire criminals running up and down a court or throwing a ball or anything anymore. Back in my day when I was a kid, sports people were paid well, but they weren't like super millionaires. And they actually tried to stand up and be role models because of their position. Nowadays, it's a bunch of whiny, overpaid assholes who've never accomplished anything in their life other than usually commit crimes and get away with it. There's such a high number of rape. If you want to be 10 times more likely to rape someone in your life, be a professional athlete. You know, it's just the statistics. So I just don't have time for them or give a fuck about any of them at all. If I woke up tomorrow and they said, aliens abducted the entire NFL and NBA, we'll never see any of them ever again, I'd be like, oh, good. Now I don't have to put up that shit on TV anymore. Preempting shit I want to watch on Sunday. Let's see here. I don't really care about many professional sports. I do watch tennis still. I admit that. I was in there just watching the finals a little bit ago between Team and Nadal. Rafael Nadal. I knew Nadal was going to win. I mean, Team had beat him before, but like Nadal was at like 70% and the Team was at like 100% when he beat him. But I mean, I watched it. It was a 3-set blowout, but I still like wrestling, of course, but that's different. Jeremy Azure. Hey, Yankee, how often do you get delayed? I buy a new gun about every 2 weeks, but I only get proceed 1 out of every 6 purchases. There are 4 other people with my name and existing criminal records. It doesn't matter if I include my social security number. I get delayed probably about 50% of the time, I would say. It's about half the time. So, yeah, nothing does any good for me either. I always put my social security number on there. It doesn't stop it. Luke Gerard is asking, no relation to Gil Gerard, who he doesn't even know who they are. Does the beaver tail grip safety on a 1911 act as a catch for the hammer when the slide forces it back as well? I shortened the beaver tail on my Ruger S1911 Commander about 1/8 inch, but didn't want to go any further due to concern about interfering with the beaver tail and hammer contact mid-cycle. No. I mean, the beaver tail does act as a deterrent for getting your hand bit, but it doesn't have anything to do with the function of the other than being a safety. It doesn't have anything to do with the function of the actual movement of the hammer. It just pushes that little, if you ever take a 1911 part, that little, what do you call those things? It looks like a, you ever have one of those boxes that would turn the little thing and the little things would go bling, 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 like a music box? That's what that always reminds me of in the 1911. So it's the music box thingy. It just pushes the pressure, puts pressure in the right places on these things so that stuff can fire. It doesn't really have to do anything with the physical movement of the hammer back here. So shortening your beaver tail is not going to hurt anything. I mean, look at the older style ones that just have the little nub that stick out. If I'm understanding your question correctly. Pricknick is saying it's called Smith & Wesson 357 Night Guard 41 Magnum. Everyone find one for Yankee and email the link to shooting left of center at Gmail. He'll love it. Well, I mean, I would like one if I could find one. I would love to have one in new condition. I don't, because those are black, so they tend to have some wear on them. Make sure I didn't miss anything. What did I just miss over here? Nope, I'm not missing anything. Okay. Cameron Gaylord is saying, hello, are there any 45 long Colt revolvers that are double action other than the Judges? I know Smith & Wesson has made some 45 guns that are double action in the past. Pretty sure. I'm trying to think of any that I know of right now that are 45 that are double action. Now, the guns that shoot 44 Casull will usually shoot 45 Colt. So those guns. But it's just being a 45 long Colt double action. I don't know who makes one right now. But like I say, you'll see the ones that are 454 Casull, 45 long Colt, blah, blah, blah. So sometimes 45 ACP. But if that's what you're looking for, I'd look into those guns. So I don't know if any that's just 45 ACP. Or not ACP, sorry, long Colt. I'm trying to think, are there any double action 45 long Colts? I don't know if that Ruger makes one or not. I think they used to make a Red Hawk in 45, didn't they? Didn't they used to make a Red Hawk? Now I got to look. Didn't they used to make a Red Hawk in 45 long Colt? Yeah, they make a Red Hawk in 45 long Colt. Super Red Hawk. So, Red Hawk's double action. So, Super Red Hawk. Right there you go. I knew they made one. I was pretty sure they made one. Let's see. Ruger has a Red Hawk. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Okay, let me get back over here. Make sure I didn't miss any chats over here. Then let's get back over here. Colin Sully sent me the picture of his 19-5. Oh, it's nickel plated, it looks like. That's pretty. At least I assume this looks like it's nickel plated. Other people think this looks nickel plated. How do I tools, rotate left? There we go. Is it just me or is this nickel plated? So I've seen some guns that look nickel plated in pictures before and they turn out to be they're blued, but I think that's nickel plated. Let's see here. I'm trying to, whoops, I got all these pictures open. I got to get rid of them before I can. There you go. Yep, there we go. Close, so I can get back to my. Adam Jimmy's is asking, what are your everyday carry items? Well, pocket knife, a flashlight, my gun, of course, my wallet and my cell phone, and usually like a book of matches and chapstick. That's usually what I definitely carry every day. Andrew Cooper. What are good resources for buying and selling used guns? I used to check local Facebook groups and Reddit guns for sale, but that's all been shut down. My local gun store often charges up to or more than the brand new MSRP for used guns. Thanks. I always say gunbroker.com is a good place to check for the value of guns. And local forums. Never underestimate your local forums. Most states have local gun forums. Ugh. War books. GP 100 versus SP 101. Which grips do you have on these guns? Can you show a comparison? Which one do you like better? Which trigger is smoother? Well, the GP 100 is a better shooting gun, but it's a different type of gun. You know, it's a larger 6-shot gun, and the SP 101 is a smaller 5-shot gun. And the trigger, I think, is better on the GP 100. Very similar, though. As far as what grips I have on them, I don't know. I don't have one right now, so I don't have any grips on them. But I like the who was it make those grips that I liked on those? They make the not the cover, the something like what was the name? Secret Service grips. Who makes the Secret Service grips? I like those on those. Who makes the Secret Service grips? Let me see if I can find it. I'm trying to search, but Eagle grips. Eagle makes the Secret Service grips. Eagle makes the Secret Service grips. Let's see if I can find a picture of them here. Yeah, here's a picture. Let me see if I can get this picture to open. There we go. I'll show you these. These are the ones that I found that I like the best. Right there. I like those ones. Those are Eagle Secret Service grips. I like those. Okay, let me move on. Still got a half hour here to kill. Condition Orange, Smith & Wesson Model 25 is double action, single action. Is it still made, though? I don't know if they still make the 25. Now I got to go look and see if Smith & Wesson still makes the 25. Let's go over there real quick. All I got to do is type in S on my, on my, looks for Smith & Wesson here real quick. I'll usually just type S up here on my search window. It'll pop up Smith & Wesson for me. That's what I always go to. I hate that autofill fucking shit, though. Because, you know, you'll just be like looking up something like you're like, I'm going to go to Lowe's.com and someone will be sitting with you and you type in L and it goes lesbian piss party or something, you know, up in your thing. You're like, So you got to, I don't like autofill. Browse firearms, revolvers. Come on, machine. It's taking its time, so hold on a second. Browse firearms, caliber. Let's see if I got any 45 Colt. Let's see if the 25 is still made. No. Oh yeah, they still make it the classic 25. There you go. It's only in the 6-inch barrel, looks like, but 6.5-inch barrel. But still, I think I go with the Red Hawk though. I like the Red Hawks. I usually prefer Smith & Wesson, but I like the Red Hawks. Let's go down here. Let's see. Cameron Austin. If you don't, whoops, what happened there? If you don't get picked for TYMP, do you re-enter? Yes. It is a weekly entry thing. You're only considered if you actually entered that week. If you entered last week, you are not considered this week unless you re-enter. So re-enter every week until you win. Electric Ninja. So much better than those gas-powered ninjas. They make a lot of noise. Yankee, what do you think about Rick Grimes leaving The Walking Dead? To be honest, I'm hoping that will be the blow that kills the show, that they just cancel it. Because I can't not watch it because I'm so into The Walking Dead, but it's gotten painful to watch it. So I would just rather they end it than have to keep watching it. So that's my answer to that. Someone's asking, where's Maisie? More Maisie. Maisie doesn't come out here now because I'm out in the outside building. I'm not in the house anymore. I'm in a detached 1,800 square foot detached building from our house. So there's no pet door for her to come out here anymore. I actually thought about building a little pet run, though, that goes from our house to the garage. So she can come out and have a run of the garage, too. But then I don't know if I want to do that or not, because I want to put a pet door to the dog run in the back of the garage and be able to put my dog out here when we're not going to be home, because she's gotten to where she's getting to that age where she's not going to be able to hold her bladder for very long anymore. If you leave her more than like 4 hours, she's going to piss on the floor probably. So I want to put a pet door in here because the dog run runs back to the woodshed behind this building, and I can put a pet door right there on the back wall of the gym area, and it'll go out into the woodshed, which goes out into the dog run. So I'd have a nice place to leave her here where she still had access to the outside. Because I don't have a place to put in a pet door in the house, because I don't want like raccoons and shit getting in the house. We've had that problem before. And I don't want that. Tired of chasing raccoons out of the kitchen. FJ Motto, what did your flag patch on Yankee, did your flag patch on your Class A or BDUs have the stars facing forward? I swear mine never had that, and if it appeared to be something new now. I'm not really sure I remember properly, but I seem to remember a lot of times thinking that I hated the way flag patches went on things because they looked backwards to me. You know, like you'll be looking at the way the patch is on their arm, and instead of it looking like it's, patches, stars over here and the flag going this way, it's like stars over here and the flag coming this way, which always looked backwards to me. And I never cared for that. Live chat, holster question. Okay. Oh, wait, I got some chats over here I got to get to first. But then I'll come back to this. Check email from Fourth Yard, time sensitive. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, what's that picture of? That's frightening. Looks like a hipster Hulk in a beatnik hat. I hope that's not what I'm supposed to look at. Maybe it's the link. Let's check the link, see what the link is. Oh, Smith & Wesson 380. Well, that's the 357 Magnum. That's not a 41 Magnum. Why are you sending me links to a 357 Magnum pistol? I thought you wanted me to get a 41 Magnum. I've seen this. I've actually seen this gun on set for sale on here before, at least using this picture. That's probably been listed multiple times. Starting bid, 1 cent. The price on it's not bad. If I could see this gun in person, I guarantee I would spend that price on that gun. Because I would fucking love to have one of these. Fuckers. I want one of those bad. They don't got any money right now, though. Broke. I'm broke. Adam Jimenez, I sent you an email, by the way, about the 41 mag. The Country 420 Farmer Trader and Peach. I don't understand what they're saying there now. Where did Jiminy send me? Was it Jiminy that said he sent me the link to the? No, Night Guard. Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Let's look this one up. Let's see how this one. Here, I'll actually share this so you people can see what I'm looking at. And you can see how painfully slow my internet loads. Here we go. Boop. Listing has expired. What's it? It's making me click on a bunch of shit. But here's, well, that one sold for $1,000. I'd pay $1,000 for one of these, though. Let's see. 357 Night Guard 41 Magnum. Yeah, I would pay $1,000 for that. It's so freaking awesome. Yep, I would like to have that very much. 6 rounds, 41 Magnum. Yeah, I would definitely like to have it. E Honda. Do you think the dollar will collapse? No. When do you think that will happen? Not at all. People have been saying that since the 30s. So I'm not too worried about it. But can you hand load the 41 Magnum, for which I don't hand load, period. So it'll break the internet. Is he talking about that picture? What's he talking about? I must have missed something. It'll break the internet. Is he talking about that picture he sent? Oh, he's uglier than I thought he was. I mean, I assumed you were pretty ugly, but that was cool. There's nothing wrong being ugly. I mean, most successful people I've ever met were ugly. You know, you throw yourself into your work. You know, what else you got going for you? Oh nope. Yank was careful. He keeps that on his phone. What are they talking about? I don't know if it's seventh ones. Oh, we might see some midget. No. I pulled out a separate window. I'm not showing you everything I got open. The 41 Magnum Night Guard will break the internet. Yeah, it'd be awesome. I'd like to have it. Would like to have it, but I got other things on my list of things I got to do right now. Like I got to get a storage shed. Since I converted the garage, I got to get a storage shed put down the lower portion of the property. Our property is kind of tiered. It's like the big area where the house is and the yard, the driveway, and everything. And then it drops down a level, and there's another big patch of grass. And there used to be a pool down there, and taking that down. And there's a big area over here that's like nothing. And I want to put a storage shed. I was originally going to put it up here next to the house, but now I want to put it down there because I got to have a place to put the riding mower, my son's four-wheeler, garden tools, stuff like that. I've got a carport right here to the side of the garage, but now I'm going to need that for the cars in the winter. It's big enough to pull two cars in. And in the winter, we're going to keep the snow off our cars because it snows a fucking lot up here. And I don't mean like, oh, it snowed 2 inches today. I mean, oh, it snowed 14 inches today. So I don't want to be shoveling 14 inches of snow off my car every day. They plow the roads up here because it's of the school route, but YouTube is anti-gun. Surprise, surprise. I think we figured that out a while ago. Yeah, duh, farmer. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Surprise, surprise. we all knew that already. Fiddle Newbie, my new. Oh, it's one of those polymer judges. His new birthday gun. Yankee, I just got my first revolver for my birthday, and I love it. It's one of those polymer 45 Colt 410 judges, and is in the like desert camo color, I guess, or desert tan. I keep being so tempted to buy one of these, but I never have bought one. I also wanted that little one that looked like the Joker gun. It was white and green, but it looked like it'd be a fun little gun to tool around with. Todd Miller's asking thoughts on 460 rolling conversion for my 1911, or just buy a 10 millimeter 1911. I'd say just buy a 10 millimeter 1911. For one, I'm never really thrilled with conversion kits because you still really only have one gun. So I would much rather have two guns than one gun. And I definitely think anyone who has a 1911 should have a 10 millimeter 1911. So, especially if you're thinking of carrying it, it should be a 10 millimeter 1911. So, I've made this whole bottle last this whole hour and 38 minutes. If I run out, I'm going to go back and get a soda out of the refrigerator back here. And I don't want to have to do that because I know you all are looking at my ass when I go back here, and it makes me uncomfortable. Luke Gerard, I think you pretty much covered it. When the hammer is forced back, it doesn't. I wasn't sure if the beaver tail is what actually stopped the hammer and it's no. Okay, let's see what you mean. No, it doesn't do anything like that. Nicole White says, my cat loves you. Oh, it's a picture of a cat watching my videos. Let me see if I can open this attachment and I will show people it. See, they're kitty cats watching my show. Why is there one round left in that moon clip? What'd you do? And it's pointing at that kitty. Oh no, pointing to get bullets at the kitty. She didn't say what the cat's name was, though. I don't think. Did I miss that? Nope. Just says my cat loves you. Wait, down here it says something. Oh, her cat's name is Socks. He's got white feet and his name's Socks. Oh. My husband's Chiapa rhino named Chippy is sitting beside him. I didn't see the Chiapa. Oh, I do see the Chiapa rhino in the picture now. Let me. Okay. I didn't know if you all noticed it. I saw the moon clip, but I didn't see the Chiapa. But if you look, right here's the front end of the Chiapa revolver. Can anybody see it now? So that guy's pointing right at that kitty. But the ammo's over here. But I'm sure, still, gun pointing at the kitty. Someone call the ASPCA or call PETA. Someone call PETA. I always just thought that was a sandwich for the longest time. But apparently they're a bunch of crazies. And believe me, I'm a big animal rights person. Or it's not actually that I believe in animals' rights. Because I don't know, I don't think a pigeon or a muskrat has a right to do much of anything. I just think that there's certain laws of being a humane person. And when you are a humane person, there's certain things you don't do. You don't kill things just to kill them. You don't make things suffer when you have to kill them. And, you end something with as little suffering as possible. Like if you have to eat an animal, you don't make it suffer. You're not cruel to an animal. You don't just tie an animal to a tree and make fun of it or throw rocks at it or something like that, because there's just a certain level of humanity that we all should be required to subscribe to. So it's not so much not so much animal rights as it is the rules of humane behavior and human behavior that I believe in. And even though I believe in all that, though, PETA is still a bunch of fucking nut jobs. So there. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything over here. Why does it seem like your wife has no space? I don't know what you're talking about, Vincenzo Lombardo. Who are you talking to? Let's see here. Hey, Yankee, do you think there will be a federal gun confiscation soon? No. Do not think we're going to go down that hill that fast anytime soon. I eventually think it's not even going to be necessary. I think eventually they're just going to make it harder and harder for people to get guns, make it harder and harder for people to afford guns, and then eventually no one's going to be able to afford or own guns, and they'll just have to wait for those of us that have them to die off, and they'll start doing the thing. I think the first type of confiscation we will see, and it won't be like a door-to-door taking people guns. The first type of confiscation we will see is an estate confiscation, where they say if someone dies and they own guns, they have to be turned into law enforcement before they're transferred to you. And then they'll just eventually just say, nope, these can't be transferred to you. But I think the first type of confiscation, and I've said this before, I don't know if anyone listened, will be an estate type, where they say if anyone in your family dies and they have guns and you take possession of them, that's a felony. You have to transfer them to law enforcement first. I think that'll be the first type of mass confiscation. I'm gonna write that down too. I should probably put that pin in on mass confiscation, estate seizure. Wait, did I just write that like? I just misspelled it, but I know what I mean. Well, I do now. I won't want to read it. Isn't PETA that group that looks for any excuse to get naked? Yeah, they kind of do. See them do that a lot. What guns does it work when people have filled out 4473s to buy their guns? If you come and you say, what guns? They'll say, do you know what obstructing justice is? Come with us. Daughter's first rifle. Should I get my 8-year-old a Ruger 10/22 or a cricket? I don't like crickets. There's too much work to look. It just makes it not fun to shoot a gun. I say get something. If she's 8 years old, I wouldn't get her a semi-automatic either. I don't think little kids should be semi-automatics. I got mine. I forget what it's called. XLR or something like that. 22. It's a Marlin, and it's a magazine-fed bolt-operated 22. I think that's like the prime gun for little 8-year-olds, because they don't have to spend all that time loading each round that they shoot, but they have to rack that slot that bolt every time to fire. Boom, boom. So safer, but not as time consuming and pain in the ass as a cricket. Okay, let me get back over here. Did I miss something? Corey Metzer, I found a good deal on 38 special Tula ammo. Is there any problems using steel case and revolver? No, not really. I think I saw that question last week. Daughter's first rifle, I answered that one. That one from 4th yard again with that picture staring at me. Warbucks, I think I opened that one, didn't I? Do you own any Ruger firearms, Yankee? Yeah, I own Rugers. I own Red Hawk. I own Vaqueros. I own Blackhawks. I own Judge. No, that's Taurus. What else do I own? Ruger. I know I own some Rugers. I definitely own some Rugers. Mr. Jeff 9mm donated to the Puppy Fund, says, for the Puppy Fund, do you think GOA will be successful in helping us regain some gun rights? I hope so, and they've been successful in stopping us from losing some, I know. So I'm always glad they're there. M. Justin, do you still have the Masterpiece Arms Mini Uzi you did a video on? No, I don't have that anymore. Traded that off. Case Bangler. Yankee, I'm in the process of refinishing some Smith & Wesson grips for a 1970s model 36. They are the oversized original Smith & Wesson grips for square butt frames. What is the best finish to put on them after I have stripped them and lightly sanded them? I like just an oil finish. I just use a finishing oil on them, and make sure you let them dry properly. But I don't like a lot of glosses or sealers or stuff on them. I just use a good finishing oil, like a good tongue oil or something, and I think they're good to go. This one is for sale. Why did I open that up over there? Oh, 6.5-inch barrel. I don't want that. That's too long a barrel. It is a pretty gun, though. That's a beautiful gun. Ruger Blackhawk 41 Magnum. That is a beautiful gun. I think we were talking about for a carry gun, though. Oh, I hear you like animals. The picture of a parrot. It looks like it has a little beak issue there. Poor little parrot. And a little kitten on its back. Yes, I do like animals. I love it. I like animals way more than I like people. My little man with a Walther P22. Okay, I'm trying not to be judgmental here, but it looks like your son is a lefty. So I can't understand why you would let him be seen in public shooting. This is my real pick. What's your real pick? I don't know what he's talking about. The one you sent me, the one with the hat and the green lighting. Is that what you're saying? I think I've gone through all the questions over here. BJ Weed pocket gun. So Yankee, you had someone on last Thursday that was asking what a good pocket gun is, and you would suggest. Oh, this is from last week. Yeah, the car line. A lot of people never think of the cars, but the car guns are awesome. I've got no problem with cars. I think they're a good little gun. Shantez Blue. Did this come in today? Yeah, okay. The left wants to take our guns and have open borders. Have they gone full retard or what? What sense does that make sense? I think he meant S-E-N-S-E. Oh, I don't agree with taking guns or open borders, to be honest. I agree with people being able to come in on work permits. I agree on legal immigration. I just don't agree with illegal immigration. I'm calling me crazy, but I'd like people to go through some sort of at least a little bit of a screening to come into our country. Let's just tell me when. Pinch Me Vampire says that other guy was right. You are a bad influence, on us now because of you. I got to polish my inox and get stainless controls for it and green piranha grips to refine my taste in guns. Yeah, I like those green grips. For some reason, I just love a green grip on an inox gun for some reason. Looks really good. Are we close enough to time to give away the gun yet? Not quite. We're almost there. As long as you don't get the car CM380. I've seen a lot of issues with, now originally cars had problems with frame flex because it rides on polymer rails. There's metal inserts at front and back too, but in the middle there's polymer rails. And when the frame was flexing, it was those polymer rails were rubbing hard against the inside of the gun, causing failures. That's where you're seeing all that black goop in the gun. It was because the rails were wearing away. They went to a firmer polymer, a sturdier polymer, and that's supposedly solved the issue. But I still saw the issue every now and then in the 45 guns, the 45 HP guns, and the 40s. 9mm never really saw it again and again. But then when they started making the 380s, I saw the same problem popping back up. So it's just, I think that on the 380s, the frame's a little thin and small. So I don't know why they use that center rail for the polymer rail. Just that's one part about the design I don't really care for. Ooh, let's see if anything can more. You're talking about spaces I set up being for me or for other people in the family. Any space in here is pretty much for any space in our house is for all of us. The gym's for all of us. The upstairs hangout area is for all of us. The only part that's just for me in this house that I want is this area. And then there's areas out there I don't got nothing to do with, like the garden and shit. I don't care about the garden or the front garden either, even with like, which I guess is more like a flower bed. But I don't have anything to do with any of that shit. That's not my spot. I mean, it's my space. I get to enjoy it, but I don't do anything for it. I don't plant flowers or grow anything. So the only part of the house that's just mine is this. Because just for safety reasons, no one else comes in here. I don't let the kids in here. No one comes in here, just me. So I keep the code, and I'm not the only one that does code at the door. I'm wrong about that, but my kids don't know it, and I'm going to keep it that way. But as far as the safe go, I'm the only one that does combinations to the safes. I need to give them to my oldest son just because he's 20 now, and I think he's old enough to be responsible to defend the house, but he has no desire to know. He knows the combination to the wall safe in the house that has a pistol in it. My oldest son does know the combination to that safe, but I don't know if he would ever go use it. He's probably never going to have a reason to. But out here, it's not that likely. But he also knows where the shotgun is in the bedroom, because I have a shotgun under the bed in the bedroom. He knows where that's at. They're not allowed in my room unless I was like, if a bear is trying to get in the house, go get the shotgun. And it's only under my bed when there's no one else in the house. I don't like, if there's like, we have guests or kids over, the shotgun gets locked up too. I'll leave it out when it's just me and my kids, because my kids now are 14 and 20. I don't have to worry about a little kid getting a hold of a gun. Now, a lot of people say, what if they go shoot up a school? My kids aren't going to do that because my kids have been parented. You know, that's the biggest problem with those kids. They aren't guided in life. They're allowed to let their worst aspects of themselves either be fostered or just be ignored when they express it. So my kids have been well parented. They're not going to do something like that. The chances your kid's going to be a mass shooter is almost next to zero anyway. And if you've been a decent parent, it's pretty much zero. Because none of those parents of the people that have done that stuff have been decent parents. I mean, look at them. They're just awful. Hell, that one shooter, the what shot up the grade school, his mother was just like, let's just fucking put him in the basement and give him whatever the fuck he wants and just keep him out of our hair. You know, they just weren't good parents. Mr. Jeff 9mm says, for the puppies, what is a good carry belt? I need something sturdy. I like to carry my pistol and a spare mag. I use the Core Essentials. I think Core is who makes it. It's what's the name of the actual fucking belt? carry lock or something like that from Core. What is the fucking thing named? But it's the one where it goes click, 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 click. You know, I like those. And they make it in. This one here is actually, they make ones that look like dress belts that I like a lot. But this one is more of a like a web material, and it holds up a heavy gun. So I can't say enough good things about it. I can't say anything bad about it. Important for everyone, the way to keep combinations safe. My son's back again. Where's he going? Just go upstairs. You're probably still cleaning. That place was a fucking wreck. I swear to God, you should have seen how big a wreck that place was last night. I mean, there's a picture here I took. Oh, I don't have my phone on me. Fuck. So I'll show you a picture of them all up there last night. See if you see how it was trash. I mean, it's just like empty root beer bottles everywhere and empty cookie containers and stuff where they just looked like they all just, I went and got them all hamburgers down at the Mercantile for lunch. It looks like they just ate and then just wiped their hands and shoved the stuff off into the floor. I had to go make them pick it up and put it in the garbage. And then they had pizza, and I go up there and there's pizza just sitting all around. Like they would have a piece of pizza on a paper plate and just leave it sit and then go get another piece of pizza. Like they eat half of that one and I go get another one. I had 2 big pizzas up there for later, but they were just, they're fucking little animals. They're 14-year-olds are fucking animals. But important for everyone to keep the combination safe, to keep it in a sealed envelope in a safe deposit box, only to be opened upon death. Yeah, that's always a good way. I have it. Where do I have the combinations to my safe at? Oh, they're locked in the filing cabinet. So if anyone ever needed to really find them, they can get in the filing cabinet and get them. My kids don't have a key to the filing cabinet. But what's he doing? He's carrying over blankets now. Looks like he's going to do the laundry. Looks like he's going to do the laundry. Stop staring at me, Fugly. I said, stop staring at me. No, get your ugly face off my window. Oh, he's shutting the blinds on my door. Okay. Now I can't see him and he can't see me. Someone told me that if you want to get a lot of practice clearing malfunctions, buy a Kimber. Is that true? No. No more so than any other 1911 or any other gun. They work just fine. People just hate on brands. And here's the thing. They say, I've seen more Kimbers have failures than Colt. Well, of course, because let's just remind people. Of all the people who make 1911, Springfield, Colt, etc., RIA, you know, Rock River, whatever, whoever, Rock Island, whatever, all of them together, Kimber sells more 1911s than they do. Kimber is the by far #1 maker of 1911s in this country, and they sell more guns, more 1911s than any other 1911 maker combined. So, of course, if the majority of the population is one type of gun, if they sell 10 times more than another gun, let's just say this, if Kimber sells 5 times more guns than Colt, and you see twice as many malfunctions as you do with Kimbers than you do Colt, so that means they're still twice as reliable, at least. So, because you just have to do the basic math, and people forget to do the basic math at the end of their assumptions. Live chat potty training. Completely off the firearms topic, my wife and I are in the process of potty training our 2-year-old daughter. She will sit on her little training shitter, but she won't actually go to the bathroom in it. Those things are gross. I wouldn't either. Let me shit in a bucket right here in the middle of the room. Ugh. I didn't know if you had any tips on getting them to actually start going since you had 2 kids. Well, my kids, I got them. They already weren't shitting themselves. At least I hope they weren't, because they were like 5 and 10 years old. So I hope they weren't shitting themselves. But I've raised a lot of my nieces and nephews and stuff, and helped with their potty training and stuff. Because I had one aunt that she would call me over to babysit. Literally, she'd say, "Come over babysit Friday, and I'll be gone for 4 hours, and blah blah blah. I'll give you $20." One, she wouldn't pay me, and then 2, she wouldn't be gone for 4 hours. She'd be Monday morning. I'd have to call my grandmother to come get the kids so that I could go to school, because she'd just disappear for a week at a time. But no, potty training is a horrible thing. Buy a book and just hope for the best. I mean, I could suggest that every time they sit on the toilet, you just scream at them saying, "This is unnatural. You're disgusting. That's concentrated evil coming out of you. I can't believe that you're my daughter," blah, 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 until they do it. And they should be mentally healthy for the rest of their life. Don't actually do that, by the way. Robert Miles, I'm thinking about trading in my Ruger American compact 9mm for another gun. What is a good recommendation? Well, I don't know. I don't know what you want. An FN, an M&P, a Glock. I don't know. What do you want? But I think you'd probably be happier with most things than the Ruger American. It's kind of a heavy gun. I don't think it really took off as a polymer gun. Smith & Wesson Quality Control. Hey, Yankee, I was curious as your thoughts on the Smith & Wesson Quality Control recently. I've seen your videos. You had good and bad experience with them. I've personally had 2 bad experiences with brand new guns having issues from the factory. I've had problems with finishes is what I've had a problem with from Smith & Wesson lately. Like, they don't give a fuck about their finishes. Now, they were having a crooked barrel problem there for a while. I think they solved that problem mostly. But they go back 10 barrels, they'd solve that problem completely. But what was I talking about? Oh, finish issues. That's what I've had problems with them lately. But they took them right back and refinished them, so it was no problem. And they gave me really good customer service. Oh shit! It's 6 o'clock. Show's over, and I haven't announced the winner yet. Someone asked this one last question from Net Flutter. We'll just start calling him Nut Flutter from now on. Did the left brainwash Zyler? No, he's not anti-gun. He just doesn't enjoy them. I'm like, if you want to go shooting, he's like, no. I took him to buy a new 9mm once for his birthday, and he's like, when he turned 18, I was going to buy him one and then hand it down to him. But he's like, I don't. They all say I think it's a lot of. He thinks he doesn't know enough about them, so that when we're at the store, I'm going to be like ashamed that he didn't know as much as he thinks he should know. But I've tried to assuage that fear in him. But I don't care if you don't know about them. You just ask me. All right, let's go and announce the recipient of the TYMP pistol project gun, because we have not done that. And I've got to find the email he sent me. Where is it? It's way down the list. We answered a lot of email questions today. A lot of email questions. Oh, that ain't it. Vincenzo Lombardo. Aha, here we go. And I don't know how many this makes now, how many pistols we've given away through the pistol project. I know I'm at the damn gun shop all the time shelling out cash for them. That's about it. Let's go. This is the email that was sent by the person who entered themselves into the TYMP program. Hi, my name is Amy. Another woman, I assume. I have been watching the Yankee Marshall YouTube channel. I saw that there is a pistol project that is going on. My only living family member is my mom. We live together. We live out in the rural area of Minnesota. What are you afraid of in Minnesota? Someone's going to throw some cheese at you? Or is that Wisconsin? Which one's cheese? On my late father's farm. The past year, I have taken my carry and conceal class and passed. I don't have any extra money to afford to buy a handgun since we are trying to keep the family farm in our name. I have been put into the position where I feel I now need to protect myself even when I am not at home. My best friend, who also lives on the farm next to us, was sexually assaulted me at my house when my mother was not around. Since then, I have been stalked by him and his family. I feel that now I am not safe going anywhere alone. Only recently, there have been armed home invasions going on around my area. I don't feel safe on my home, in my own home anymore, let alone out and about. Thank you for your time in reading this. I hope someday I'll be able to fulfill my right to legally own a firearm and defend myself and family if need be, and hopefully never need to. That's what she just said, but I'm adding that. And that is Amy B. So Amy B, you are this week's recipient from the TYMP Pistol Project, this week's beneficiary. So email back. He'll be sending you an email asking for your contact information, your name, your phone number, your FFL's number, and your FFL's name, of course. So that we will get that ready to be shipped out. I will go in probably Wednesday, because Tuesdays I don't go to town. They're not open on Monday, and on Tuesdays I don't go to town. So Wednesday, I'll go down, pay for it. So it usually goes out either Friday or Monday, depending on when UPS picks up. And then it takes like another week to get to you. So don't expect it within 2 days or anything. But you are the recipient now. And that brings us, well, I'm not going to answer that right now. Well, I'll do that later because we're past time right now. But I want to thank everyone for coming. I want to thank the people that support me on Patreon, even though there's fewer of you every week. The ones of you that are sticking with me, thumbs up for you guys. You're helping support this. And I think we're doing some good. I think some people I think we're spreading I think it's a good thing. I just don't know. Some people think it's a bad thing, but no one's been able to convince me yet that it's a bad thing. And they've approached it from different ways of saying you're taking too much liability, which I don't think I am. And, or it's just not a good thing to do. And I disagree. So until someone convinces me otherwise, I think this is a good thing to do, and we'll keep doing it as long as I can afford to do it. So thanks to everyone for coming. I mean, I don't need the money. I'm old. What do I need now? I don't even buy new underwear or anything anymore. So I'm just waiting my underwear out. I'm in my 50s. I'm just waiting them out. See what's going to last longer, me or the elastic. So, so thanks to everyone who supports me on Patreon. Thanks to everyone who watches my channel. I'm getting back into regular videos again. Got a good start last week. We'll do some more this week. Once again, and soon I'll be rolling just like before. So thanks to everyone for coming. And next live chat is our podcast this coming Thursday with me, Gun Websites, and Never Enough Ammo, if they remember to show up. Gun Websites slept through the last one. But we'll see you. I will be making videos through the week, and then I will see you live on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific time. That's 10 p.m. on the East Coast. So until then, I will just say goodbye. So goodbye. Where's the stop?